Morning, how are you?
Pretty good, man. What's going on?
Not too much.
You enjoying this 28-degree weather in the preseason?
We had another scrimmage today. We've been outside the last 2 days.
I know. I've seen you driving around a couple times, and I remember those days back in the 80s being a 16-year-old kid and freezing and trying to avoid batting practice because I didn't have batting gloves. Man, it's rough out there in the preseason.
Yeah, I don't remember it being this cold. I know all of us like to say everything was tougher when we played and stuff like that, but I don't think it was this cold when I played.
There were definitely a couple of years I remember. I don't know if it was my sophomore or junior year where it was just 30, 35 degrees, and you're like, oh man, God, when's practice over? Are you guys going away?
We head out to Arizona next Sunday. The
Awesome.
25th.
And was last year the first year when you went out there?
Yeah, we did Florida for a couple years in a row, and then last year headed out to Phoenix and played a bunch of teams out there, and we're heading out for a week next week.
That's awesome.
All preseason scrimmages and stuff like that. So
the guy's got to be psyched.
Some spring training. Yeah, absolutely. The weather's going to be great. Get to see some new teams, and they'll see some spring training games, and they're going to see the Nets play, they're going to see the Suns play. So it'll be nice.
What's the biggest challenge as a high school kid when you're taking 20-some guys across the country?
Deciding who's going, probably, because everybody competes so hard for those spots, and with the rooming list and everything like that. In terms of like behavior-wise, and you just wouldn't do it if you didn't have good kids, and we're blessed with good kids at Mainland, so I don't really worry about the discipline and the behavior so much as I worry about making sure everybody knows, it's 16 guys that are going, but, I mean, we're playing 5 times, so I need to take guys who are dual position players that can pitch too. So sometimes you don't always take your, I don't know if people want to say your top 16, you take the guys that are going to get you through those games. And I've missed in the past before, and we've actually not taken guys in March who've ended up being our starting infielders in April, and it's just kind of a testament to them continuing to work hard. Matty McLaughlin's the best example. I use him all the time.
Right.
He missed out on the trip his sophomore year. He wasn't a dual position guy, and he started for us for 3 years, about starting 2 weeks later.
Nice. I guess some of the parents make the trek out there as well, right?
This past season we had some people out there, which was nice, and we'll have our parent meeting on Tuesday, so I'll get the final numbers of who's going to be out there and kind of who I can lean on a little bit. In terms of if kids want to go out to dinner with their families, they can, and stuff like that. So
right.
It's a nice bonding trip for the kids, though, to be together 24 hours a day and kind of just focused on baseball. So we're looking forward to it. And springs like this, well, so bad, it's just nice to be able to play in a T-shirt and stuff like that.
Definitely. Talking with Coach Kern from Mainland Baseball. And, Coach, one of the things I wanted to bring up in today's conversation is the readiness of these kids in this day and age. I mean, when I was in high school, you did whatever you could. I was lucky to have a brother who was 10 years older, who was kind of like a pseudo coach. We'd be out there throwing long toss with snow on the ground. But these kids have so many opportunities now to get into these sort of training facilities, like Baseball Performance Center, Mike Adams and Eddie Charlton over there in Pleasantville, and some of these other places around the area. New Jersey Baseball, another one that really they're doing stuff all winter long, high level stuff. And one thing you worry about is, are they overusing their arm a little bit too much for the pitchers? But as far as hitting wise and position players, getting so many more swings than when I was 16, I'm doing dry swings in my basement. That's pretty much all I could do.
Mm-hmm. Eddie and Mike do a great job at BPC. It's a nice opportunity for the kids to just the model they have, where kind of we're here if you need us. If you're going to show up, you show up. If not, it's kind of on you. Is nice in terms of kind of puts it on the kids that if they want to get better, there's a place for them to get better. So I do like that idea. I think skill development is as high as it's been in terms of opportunities for kids to throw and opportunities for kids to hit. I think what's a little bit lacking in the last couple of years is just kind of some game knowledge. Kids are playing so often and so many games, and it's so much just exposure-based that I find, and I'm just speaking from a Mainland standpoint and talking to some other coaches, I find that we're teaching a little bit more of what's going on in-game and in-game situations and what to do with the ball and some of the finer points, just because the kids are so oversaturated with games and summer ball and fall ball. And
right.
It's very, very few practices. It's kind of skill development, hitting and pitching, and technique, which is great. The kids' technique's as good as it's ever been. But what falls short a little bit in the last couple of years is just some of the finer points of the game, bunting and some things that doesn't look great on the highlight video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you find that's a bit of a challenge at the high school level, particularly with a pitcher trying to get them to understand, like, hey, there might be a guy on third, but it's not the worst thing to walk the number 4 hitter and get to the 5 or 6 guys and get out of an inning that way? Those kind of, little more high level, advanced thinking things.
It's I don't want to say it's difficult. I just think that you have to kind of treat every kid that it's like a blank canvas. We talk about our staff, just assume they don't know, and it's because that way, if you've told them, then you can say we went over this. So we don't really have any expectations in terms of what the kids' in-game knowledge is. We try to go in and say, this is what we're going to do in this situation, and obviously you don't cover every situation, but that's why these scrimmages are nice. Yesterday, just little things we talked about. We had a first and second situation and a clean single to left. We were running on the pitch, and the lead runner was going to score, and we just were talking to the trail runner that, you have to pick up coach, but you obviously saw the shortstop didn't do his job to get over to cover third. The third baseman was sinking to cut off left field if that base is open. It's just a read situation. It's not on coach to do that. So it's just some of those in-game things where you just have to realize what's going on in front of you, and these the summer ball coaches and BPC and stuff like that, they're doing such a good job with the exposure for these kids and giving them opportunities at the next level, that we just have to, as high school coaches, close the gap a little bit on the skill development part, on the in-game situation and on the kind of what happens when the game's going on.
How's your squad looking this year? What kind of expectations do you have? I know that the competition has gotten so intense the last couple of years, and you really can't overlook anybody in the Cape Atlantic League.
Well, the Cape Atlantic League's been fantastic the past several seasons. The arms in the Cape Atlantic League are so dominant that it's become a premium to really play defense and really figure out a way that you can scratch 2 runs, because it's going to win a lot of baseball games if you go around the league. Most teams have some sort of shutdown arm, and then those games that are really fun is when both teams send out their guy, and it's a really nice day. But the league's so strong. South Jersey baseball has been strong for a really, really long time. So we've had a nice spring so far. We had EHT on Thursday and Eastern yesterday, and we're going up to Bishop Eustace today. So we're seeing some of the better teams and some of the better arms, and we're just hoping to continue to get better towards our April 2nd start.
Talking to Coach Kern of Mainland Baseball. And, Coach, real quick before we let you go, tell us about this Coach vs. Cancer tournament, I should say, that's been such a staple at Millville for the past couple of years, coming to Mainland this year.
Well, we were fortunate enough to get Mike Edwards from Millville. My brother stepped down to coach his son this year in the youth league, so we had an opening. We were lucky to get Mike Edwards from Millville, and kind of with Mike Edwards came his tournament, and the Coaches vs. Cancer at Millville is something we've participated in at Mainland for a really, really long time. And the guys out of Millville were I know something that they knew. Mike's passionate about it, and they were happy to let Mike take it with him to Mainland. So I've been just trying to assist with Mike and anything he needs in terms of getting our teams and the format and sponsorships, because it's a tremendous undertaking, and he's been doing a great job with it. We actually expanded the format a little bit. We're going to open it up against Mainland Millville, at a night game on Friday night, April 27th, and then there's going to be 4 games on Saturday and 4 games on Sunday, and we'll probably have close to 5 or 6 of the top 10 teams in South Jersey that are playing sometime on Saturday or sometime on Sunday. And we're looking to have a huge crowd and a lot of people, and the ultimate goal is writing a humongous check to Coaches vs. Cancer, to American Cancer Society. So it's all for a great cause, and if anybody out there is interested in becoming a sponsor for our event, we're looking to really take this event to the next level sponsorship-wise and kind of show our kids what it means for kind of civic responsibility and giving back a little bit. So if anybody's interested, you can contact Mike Edwards or myself. I'm W. Kern at mainlandregional.net. And Mike Edwards, I'll give you his email real quick while I got you on the phone. In terms of what we're really looking for and what you get, there's signage all weekend. We're on Route 9. You get your business on the back of the camp T-shirt, things like that. You can contact michael.edwards@millville.org, and he's the chairperson of the whole event. It's pretty much his event, and we're just all here hoping to not get in the way a little bit.
Awesome, Coach. We're up against break. Got to let you go, but we appreciate you taking a few minutes and really looking forward to that tournament.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see you there, and there'll be some great games, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you again this spring.
Definitely, man. I'll be out there all weekend.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
That's Coach Billy Kern from Mainland Baseball.